Hi guys, I'm Mary.
And I'm Brad.
And welcome to Fitness Tested. Be sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all of our new shoe reviews. This week we are talking about the ASICS Gel-Nimbus 25, and it is a completely new shoe. Looks very, very different from the old 24.
The Nimbus has gone through quite an iteration over the last few years. I remember looking at it a long time ago. It was heavy, it was bulky, it was big, it was just a mass of shoe. And this shoe is completely the opposite.
I would say that I've heard people say how much they did not care for this shoe just because it weighed so much, and it would actually give them problems with their hamstrings from having to pull the shoe off of the ground because it weighed so much. This is a refreshing take to see from ASICS.
For those of you who know the ASICS shoe line, the Nimbus is the max cushion of the neutral category. This is the most amount of cushion you're gonna get in most of their daily trainers, and they added a lot of it this time. So they did add 8 millimeters of stack height to this shoe to try to compete with some of the other big shoe brands that are adding just max cushion, max density, and I think they knocked that out of the park.
Absolutely. The other thing that ASICS did with this shoe is it is the lightest Nimbus to date. It is still a heavy shoe for a high cushion shoe. However, it's a lot better than it used to be. The women's 8 is going to be 9.2 ounces. The men's 9 will be 10.5 ounces. If you compare that to, say, some of the other shoes that we have compared that are high cushion in the past, it's actually right in that ballpark, but it is so much lighter than it used to be. Again, that's something that we really like to see from ASICS, and it feels so much better on. It just kind of feels like a shoe you can put on and forget about. This shoe comes in standard to extra wide widths, so a nice variety of sizes for folks who have different widths or need a different size.
The question always comes up, what is the drop on this shoe? This is actually an 8 millimeter drop from heel to toe. Because of the amount of cushion, I don't really think you're gonna notice much of a difference going from some of the older models to the new model because the foot really does sink inside the shoe, does sink inside that foam. And I don't think, for those of you who have maybe worn the Nimbus for years and really like that 12 millimeter drop or that 12 millimeter offset, I don't think you're really gonna notice that loss of about 4 millimeters in the heel.
Talking about the midsole and outsole on this shoe, ASICS is using their FF Blast Eco Plus foam. It is a much lighter weight, sleeker design, nicer foam, I think. Definitely feels like you're walking on a cloud. And it still is using a gel component in the midsole. However, it is only in the heel. It is not in the mid or forefoot. You can actually kind of feel that when you have the shoe in your hand. You can feel that the heel is just a little bit heavier than the front of the shoe, but it's definitely a nice feeling. And of course, you can't see it anymore on that outsole or on the midsole, but you can definitely still feel that nice, soft, plush feeling that gel gives.
And both of us have spent a fair amount of time in the shoe just to kind of get a feel for it, because the shoe's so different from past models, where I think that this is probably one of the softer versions of the shoe.
Agreed. Where
they took out a lot of that gel. The gel tends to be pretty firm just because of the way that gel is constructed. But we did really notice that the FF Blast midsole is so soft. And for those of you who really like a soft shoe but still want to retain some of that firmness from the gel, having it still in the heel does really kind of keep its core as being the gel Nimbus of the past.
So is it a trainer or is it a racer? This is definitely a trainer. The Nimbus here would be ideal for your easy days and long runs. Definitely wouldn't really recommend it for your tempo or workout days. That's gonna be more of a shoe that is better suited for the Nova Blast, which we did earlier. If you haven't seen that, go check out our previous review on the ASICS Nova Blast. But again, this is gonna be a shoe for your everyday runs, recovery runs, or long runs.
Aside from the foam, one of the biggest updates for this shoe is going to be the upper. I can't say enough about how smooth and soft this upper is. I've been in the industry, like I said, a long time, and I've seen a lot of different shoes, and this may be one of the softest uppers and best updates for an upper that I think I've ever seen.
I feel like this upper is actually one of the best, even compared to a lot of race day shoes. So a lot of race day shoes tend to have a much more streamlined, tapered fitting upper, and I feel like this is probably one of the best. It's just so nice, it feels invisible, it's buttery soft. I didn't really notice too much with the tongue. Again, we have different feet, so it's always good to try this on and see what you think about it. As you can see, this shoe looks completely different. It has had a huge facelift. As you can see, that gel is no longer visible. It looks like a completely different shoe. If you took the branding off of it, you probably wouldn't even think this as an ASICS. It would probably look like something different. The tongues are similar. It still has that nice stretchy tongue. There's fewer seams. The upper is so much softer, and it just looks and feels completely different.
Now, one of the things that I noticed from the get-go is realistically the sheer amount of cushion that differentiates these two. This is a size 13, this is a 12.5. And I mean, you can even just see it sitting them right here, how different the shoes actually are. I know they wanted to add more cushion. I know they wanted to kind of compete with the Hokas and the Ultras and some of the other shoes that are adding a lot more cushion to the shoe. I think they did it right by taking away a lot of that gel, encapsulated it just in the heel. They're just two very different feeling, looking, experiencing shoes.
If you're looking for some shoes to keep in your rotation and you want to do a rotation on shoes, I would say the Nimbus and the Nova Blast would be a perfect 1-2 punch on looking forward to, your next race. You have your recovery day shoe, and then if you wanted the Nova Blast, you could easily use that as your tempo day or workout day shoe. So having those two in conjunction with each other would be a really good combination to have if you're looking for a really fast or improved time. So the ASICS Nova Blast is $160, and considering that was what the price of the 24 was, and you get all of this for the new one, I think that's a great price. A high cushion shoe should last you from 500 to 550 miles, sometimes 600 depending on what surfaces you're on, how often you're using them, that sort of thing. So having this shoe for $160 is an absolutely great deal. We do have them available at all of our locations. We both have men's and women's, and we do have some different colorways. Come on in and give them a try.
Thanks for watching. This has been Fitness Tested, and make sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with all the updates that we're doing on all the shoe reviews and the other fun things that we're doing around the store. And make sure to stop into any one of our 3 locations in Clive, Johnston, or Coralville.
Or if you want to buy the shoe directly from our store, follow the link below and we will have it available for you at our online store.
For most of you who know the... Hello? No, they're not here. Hello? Is this thing on? I guess we gotta wait for that now.
I guess so. Love it.
Is this thing on? I believe they added 8 millimeters of stack height in the overall shoe.
Just popular this morning, huh?
Hi, is Caesar there? I mean, we all need Jesus.
Yes, I need Jesus this morning, please. Lord, take definitely away from me.
Lord, take the wheel.